side, nice and easy. Taking some deep breaths. Maybe it's been a long day. It has for me. I took some much needed time away last Wednesday through Saturday. We took our first family vacation as a family of 4. Pull those heels up. So my 6-month-old daughter and my 3-year-old and my husband and I went and rented a cabin up north, which was great because we had basically a house just in a different location. So the kids all got their own rooms. Everybody hopefully slept well. Keep going. I got one to admit here. Just keep lifting those feet up. Got some nice family memories with my son catching his first fish. So it was lovely. It was great. Now it's back to reality. In 4 and 3, 2 and 1. Awesome. We're just going to bring our feet still hip width apart and do some shallow squats here. Now, if you look at me and you say, Tiffany, that's not at all shallow, that's okay. Everybody's moving a little different. I mostly sat at my computer in my dining room area all day long, so I'm ready to get my body moving a little bit. I usually try to get a walk in throughout the day, but that did not happen today. Life happened, work happened. Awesome. In 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now we're just going to change this to a backwards lunge. So I don't care which leg you pick, but we're just going to alternate. Again, yes, make sure if you need to shift your body slightly or look behind you, making sure you're not running into something maybe behind you. Maybe it means you just can't step your foot back quite as far. That's okay. Awesome. For those of you that may have not taken my class before, it is a strength class. We do have a couple little cardio intervals we're going to bring in the middle, but there's always a modification. Good. One more each side. Down and up. Good. Now, a little bit of a jumping jack. Now, if you decide you don't want to jump, you just tap that toe to the side. That is just fine. Or you can bring it up and hop. The more you warm your body in the warm-up, the easier it feels as we get started. So if you want to warm your body up, maybe you start with that modification here, and you go to this option, whatever you choose. 4, 3, 2. All right, we're coming back to those heels up. Now I want you to bring your arms nice and wide because we are going to do some chest work. So I want to make sure we get those arms nice and wide, warming them up, open and close. If you feel like I'm going too fast or you feel like you want to go faster, you modify that pace. Do it at your own pace, but something that's challenging. Getting your heart rate up in 4, 3. Good. Now just tap those toes. Tap. Good. Nice and easy. Catch your breath just a little bit. We're going to come back up one more time for a touch of cardio, then we're going to get started. Little jump rope here, feet wide. Don't want to jump? Marching. Awesome option. Maybe you want to just come up. I can't tell if you can see that, but just coming up off your heels is also a good option instead of having to jump or that jump rope. Moving your arms just as if you had a jump rope, even though you probably do not. Good, bring those feet together. Or marching. By the way, you can get indoor jump ropes that are only about this long. They have a ball at the end, so you can actually jump rope inside. They're not a long rope. I've got those. They're great. Feet wide. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Just tap those toes out. Catch your breath a little bit. If you're not completely out of breath, that's okay. It is more of a strength class. So I want you to think about lifting a little heavier than maybe you think you can. If you have to drop to a lighter weight, who cares? No one can see you except maybe someone at home or a pet. So that is just fine. No one's checking out which weight you have. We can't tell anyway. So where we're starting, we start with legs. We're going to do a squat, and then we're going to go to plie or a sumo where our toes are out. So I'd like you to pick a pair of weights that you can squat with the weight on your shoulder. What I will tell you, if you're holding your weights here, you can probably go a little heavier. If you're holding them here, it's going to feel a little bit harder. So if you hold them here and you say, oh, That's not feeling good. That's not gonna work for me tonight. Go ahead and drop to something a little bit lighter. I would normally pick up maybe a 15, but I'm gonna pick up a 12.5 tonight. So weights are gonna be up by your shoulders. Feet are gonna be about hip width apart. We're going to squat down together, and then we're gonna come up and lift a leg. So it's a squat down and leg lift in 4, 3, 2, 1. Down, 2, up, 2, down, and up. What I will tell you, your heart rate is going to start to build. You're gonna get a little bit out of breath. Even though you're not jumping around, the beauty is because we are changing levels. We're coming down and up, that you are starting to build your heart rate. It is good. It's good we do that. It's good we don't just always jump around. That's why you see people that maybe could run a marathon, but maybe can't handle lifting weights, or the other way around. But if you are lifting heavy enough weights, you are also working that cardio system, getting those lungs a little bit of a workout, and lift. Good. Pushing that butt back behind you, toes are forward, lift. And lift. Good. We have 4 more total. Good. And 3, 2, one more time. And 1. Awesome. Now, weights are going to come down in front of your body. So they're going to be right here in front. Toes are going to be out. Feet are going to be hip width or a little bit more apart. If your feet aren't quite wide enough, what you're going to find is your knees going over your toes. They should not go over, just in line with. In 4, 3, down for 2. Down and up. Good. Down and up. Good. Pushing through those heels. Down, 2, up, 2. Down and up. Pushing up through those heels. Down and up. Good. Now, you want to get it more in your bum, more in those heels. You can slightly lift your toes off the floor just inside your shoes. Your shoes don't have to move at all. But if you think about just taking your toes to the top of your shoes, you are going to force yourself to be pushing through those heels a little more. Good. All right, we have 2 more, and then we're going to go singles a little bit faster. Good. Here we go. Singles. Down, lift. At the top, I want you to squeeze your butt cheeks together. I know it sounds weird talking about your bum, but squeeze them together. That's the other part of the move. If you don't do that part, you're only doing half of it. Why not do all of it? You made it. You got here. Got to wherever you are in your home. 4, or your cabin, or wherever you are. 3. Good. 2. Last one. Awesome. Stand yourself up. I want you to assess right now, did your weights feel heavy? If the answer is no, and you say, actually, Tiffany, it didn't really feel that heavy, I want you to go ahead and get something a little heavier. Just changing what I have here. For tunes, again, assess that weight. See if it felt good. Weight training isn't necessarily about using something that feels comfortable. One of my favorite sayings anyways is getting comfortable with being uncomfortable, and that's really what weight training is all about. Up by your shoulders. 4, 3, 2, lifting your right leg first. Down and lift. Down and lift. Good. And up, down, and lift. Good. Lifting to the side, leg nice and straight. If you feel like you can't keep your leg straight, you can also bend your knee just a touch. You can also keep your foot on the floor. You can just do a squat without the leg lift. You also could lift your leg an inch off the floor. You could just lift it here. That's perfectly fine. The more you come down and up, the more your heart rate is going to build and climb. Good. 4 more. And lift. 3. Almost there. 2. Last one. Good. Again, weights down in front. If you feel like you want to go a little heavier with this plie, go ahead and grab a different set of weights, or maybe a little bit lighter. Weights out in front. 4, 3, 2, down for 2. Down and up. Now, If I come to the side, you'll notice I'm coming straight down and straight up, as if I was running my back along the wall. Not here, also not here, leaning back, that hurts. Nice, up and down, down and up. I know not everyone has the luxury of maybe having a mirror that's near them, like you do when we're in the gym together. But you can also get creative, maybe the reflection in a window, maybe the toaster, maybe the TV. Whatever you have that might be a good reflection for you is also a good idea, especially as you're all home by yourself. Good. A little harder to get feedback on form. Good. 4, push up through those heels. 3, push up through the heels. Lift those toes inside your shoe. Good, one more time. Awesome, go ahead and set those weights to the side. This is our first little cardio burst. We do a cardio burst or we do an ab move after each muscle group. So this is your first cardio one. It's called a sand jack. So what it looks like, you're gonna come down, hand between your feet. You do not have to touch the floor. You're gonna hop together and back down, together and back down. I promise once you get a little bit of the momentum, it'll feel a bit more natural than maybe it was looking when I was demoing it. Feet are hip width apart. You have 45 seconds. 4, 3, hold on a second. Let me get to a spot in the clock where I'll see it. Here we go. 4, 3, 2, feet wide, up and down here. So feet together, reach between. Feet together, reach between. Now, as you get the hang of it, you are welcome to go a little faster. You say, oh no, I'm not going faster anyway. Don't do it. Good, your legs should now be burning. You should be saying, oh, I think my weight was good. Oh my gosh, my legs are gonna fall off. They promise, they will not in 20 seconds. You feel like you don't wanna hop, step together, reach between. Step together, reach between. Good, 10 seconds, legs will not fall off, I promise. Don't do it. 8, 7, don't stop now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Holy moly, my legs are on fire. All right, catch your breath. If you feel like you wanna grab some water, grab some water. We are going to be coming down on our back. So I've got my handy dandy towel. It's easy to throw in the wash when I get home. Now, as we come down to the floor, get a sip of water real quick. As we come down to the floor, we have 2 moves. We're gonna be doing a chest fly, such as this, and we're gonna be doing a chest press, such as this. Usually, you can do less weight on the fly than you can here because your elbows are bending versus staying straight. So if you want 2 sets, go ahead and grab them. Otherwise, if you say, I'm good with 1, go ahead and grab 1 set. I'm gonna take a 15 for my chest press, which is move number 2, and I'm gonna take a 12.5 for my chest fly, because having those arms a little wider is a little bit heavier, harder rather. Feels a little heavier. So we're gonna come down on our back. Knees are going to be bent. This is very important here. And as your knees are bent, I want you to think about pressing the middle part of your back to the floor. This does not at all mean holding your breath. It just means engaging your abs. And yes, you can do that while you're breathing. So hands are gonna be up over your chest. They are not over your head, nor are they over your waist. Hands are up. We're gonna start with that chest fly. We're gonna come down for 2 and up for 2. In 4, 3, 2, down for 2. Open and close. Open and close. Open, up, close, close. These are ones that they kind of feel hard as you're doing it, but then tomorrow, you're gonna feel like your chest is bruised or maybe a little sore. You're gonna say, what happened? More than likely it's these chest flies. Very important to open up that arm. If you need to, you can slightly bend your elbow. But if you feel like you're nice and strong with the weight you have, I encourage you to open up and don't bend your elbow at all. Good. Make sure you keep breathing. Don't stop breathing. Still pushing that lower back into the floor as you open and close. Open and close. Good. We have 4 more to go. Don't worry, I didn't forget about you, even though you're not here in person. Didn't forget you were here with me. 2 more. Open and close. 1 more time. Open and close. Awesome. Now, I'm going to set this set of weights down because I grabbed a 15. So I've got a 15 that's slightly heavier for me. If you feel like you're good with the weight you have, you stick with it. This time, I'm going to make it a little bit fancier, going to make it a little bit more challenging. There's an option for modification. Option 1 will be you'll have your knees up, and as you come down, you're going to tap a heel and lift it up, tap a heel, lift it up. Option 2, feet are going to be in the air, and as you bring one weight or both weights down, one leg is going to come down. Option 3, feet both on the floor. We are going to do 2 counts down, 2 counts up. So again, knees, feet up, or feet on the floor. You choose. Get those legs or feet set wherever you'd like them. Weights are up towards your feet if you've got them in the air. And 4, 3, 2, drop one leg. Here we go. Down, 2, up, 2, down, and lift. Again, making sure you're pushing that lower back into the floor. If you don't want to have your legs straight, you do not have to have them straight at all. If you don't want to move your legs at all, you absolutely do not have to. But I will remind you, each muscle group has 2 moves, and we do each move 2 times, followed by, this time will be a core move versus a cardio. Since we're on our back, we're probably not getting our heart rate up as much as when we were changing levels with those squats, but we are still working nevertheless. Good. Down and up, down and up. You have 4 more to go. Down and lift. 3 more. Do not give up. Not now. Good. You're almost halfway through your chest work. Maybe it feels like an eternity to go. 1 more time and up. Awesome. Go ahead and set those weights down if you're changing them out. If you're not, go ahead and stay on your back with those weights. If you feel like you need a little bit of a chest break, though, you're welcome to put your weights down, maybe open up that chest a little bit. When we're all virtual, it's very hard for me to actually take breaks or know how long of a break I'm taking. All right, we've got chest flies coming up. Hands are up overhead. Last time, if you felt like it wasn't that hard and you have a heavier weight, which I know some of us do not, which is okay, I want you to pick up something different, maybe something a little heavier. You can also just straighten your arm a little bit more, and then you're still going to get a little bit harder of a workout. Here we go. In 4, 3, 2, open up. Open and close. Good. And close. Perfect. Sometimes as you're doing a workout to help distract yourself, you can start thinking about why you're working out. Maybe it's so you don't fall all the way on the ice, as that's coming in our future. Maybe it's so you can run around with your kids or your grandkids or your spouse or your friends or an animal. Good. Open and close. Open, even if it's just for yourself. If that's why you're working out, just so you can get stronger, maybe prevent a broken bone in the future. Good. That's okay. You're just as important as all those other people you might be doing it for. Good, good, good. 4 more. Here we go. Down and up. 3 to go. 3. Good. If you were hoping I would start counting, that probably means that your weight is a good weight. Otherwise, maybe I was just boring. That's okay too. But if you were hoping that I would start counting, it probably means that your weight is perfect for what you need. All right, last time with those chest presses. If you did an option with your feet on the floor and you maybe want to try one, nothing says you can't try one with your knees up and then put your feet down. If you had your knees up, maybe try one with straight legs, and if that doesn't work, come on back down to those knees bent. 4, 3, 2, down for 2. Down and lift. In case you're wondering if I ever use other equipment, I do know that equipment is very, very challenging to come by. I've been trying to find some weights for myself at home. So I try not to use anything other than weights. My only exception, I really like working out with gliders, which are the little discs that you can use. If you're at home and an instructor ever uses them, on hardwood you can use towels, so little washcloths or hand towels, just fold them up. If you're on carpet, you can use paper plates. They're both good options. Most of us probably have those things around our homes. I don't regularly have paper plates, so that would be a little bit of a challenge. That being said, I do have hardwood floors, so at least I've got a backup option. Good. I know bands aren't easy to come by. Steps. Good. We have 4 to go. My muscles are getting tired. I don't know about yours. Good. 1 more each side. Down and up. You have 1 more to go. Down and up. Awesome. Now I want you to safely put those weights down beside you. We are going to stay on our back for our core move here. Because most of us probably aren't traveling anywhere, we're going to do some suitcase crunches. Going to get in the mood for going somewhere else. Arms are going to be up. I like to keep my knees slightly bent on this one. I feel like it's a little bit better for my lower back. You can also straighten your legs. You're going to sit up, bring your knees up, and reach underneath. If you feel like two legs is too much, you can also just do 1. And if you feel like that's just too much, you can also be here and just lifting slightly up. So you do not have to sit all the way up on your bum. So hands are going to be up. Feet are, again, my knees, I like to have them bent. And you're going to come up touching underneath your knees and then opening back up. You are going to go at your own pace for 45 seconds. So come on down. Get set in 4, 3, 2. Here we go. Suitcase crunches. Now let me just show you a little bit harder. You actually extend your legs. That's going to be much more challenging. I like to do my core moves a little bit slower than maybe some because I really like to get engagement on my entire core. My core for sure is not back to where it was before I had a baby, but we'll work on it. We'll work on getting it strong. Strong core does not necessarily mean a skinny core. Just in case you're wondering, I do not have a six-pack. Nor will I ever have one. My body type just does not make it such, and that's okay. That doesn't mean it's not strong. Good. 4, 3, 2, and 1. If you feel like you want a long body stretch, lifting lower back off the floor, reaching arms up overhead, you go right ahead. And we are going to do some back work. So our back work will all be standing tonight. Sometimes we do it on the floor. We're not going to get on our belly. If you feel like you need some water or a towel to wipe off any sweat you have, go ahead and do that now. And then let me show you where we are for back work. So we're going to be doing a row and a reverse fly. So it's kind of the opposite of what we did for chest. So your row, usually we stand here and we row like this. We're just going to add a little bit of footwork into it. So if you don't care for the footwork, you do not have to do it. You're going to tap back and tap back. That's it. The key is keeping your elbows nice and tight, not here, not chicken wing, almost as if you had paint on the inside of your arm and you were painting the sides of your body. Move 2, which you might need to go a little bit lighter for, I typically do, is you're going to be leaning forward, same position, and you're going to do a reverse fly. We're not going to do them super, super slow because sometimes momentum helps us just a touch with those reverse flies. So grab the weight you'd like for a row. We will alternate our feet, so not just one side. We have hamstrings coming up, so we don't want to work them that much. All right, so knees are slightly bent in 4, 3, 2, and row, release, row, release. Now, as you lower your weights down, I want you to make sure you're not doing this and just letting them fall. It's almost as if you're placing them on a very delicate surface in front of you. Good. I must have the right weights. I just saw a piece of sweat drop on the floor, which, yes, I will disinfect later for whomever comes after me. So again, you're alternating the foot that you're tapping behind, reach, and reach, It's kind of hard just to be straight on for all the form that we need to see here. Reach and reach. Good. Reach. Reach. Doesn't have to be fast. Just have to have the right weights. You have 4 more. 4, 3, 2, last one. 1. Good. Now, if you want to swap out your weights, go ahead and do that now. I'm actually going to grab a little tiny lighter. So I went from a 15 to a 10. So not quite in half, but at least drop down a third. Same position. Knees are going to be slightly bent. Weights are going to be out in front in 4, 3, 2. Here we go. Reverse fly and in. Now, same rule applies. You feel like it's too heavy, just bend your elbows a touch. If you feel like you want to just do one arm at a time, you can also do that. 2 arms is going to help balance you a little bit, though. 1 arm, you really have to make sure that you're keeping that core nice and tight and strong. Otherwise, you're going to injure that other arm. You might fall over. We don't want any of those things happening. Good. Reach. Perfect. Reach. Yes. Reach. Oh, 4 more. 4, 3, 2. Last time right here. And 1. Awesome. Go ahead and put both sets of weights down. Go ahead and roll out your shoulders if that feels good to you. Wipe off any sweat you have. It is rather hot in here, only considering I'm the only person in the space. It's rather warm. All right. Okay. Grab those weights. Rows again. Here we go. Grab the weight for rows. If you felt like you could have done 12 more rows, you probably need a heavier weight. The other option could be 2 weights in 1 hand. I know that is kind of a lot depending on the size of your weight, but that's also another option. So again, knees slightly bent, back is flat, back's not rounded, so you're pushing that chest down to the floor in 4, 3, 2, reaching a leg back. Reach and lower. Pulling those elbows nice and close. Good. I don't know about any of you, if you have bystanders that come and sit and watch you work out in your home, a spouse, a child, whomever's at your house, you should invite them in to work out with you. I know my husband, when he walks by and maybe points and laughs or has a little smile, my answer is usually, you want to join? Show me how it's done better? He usually politely passes, but then you can have a little workout buddy while you're at it. My 3-year-old certainly has figured out how to lift up the 5-pound weights, how to use the bands, how to use the gliders, maybe not in the appropriate way, but he certainly has figured it out. Good. We have 4 more, 2 more each side. And 4, 3, elbows nice and close. 2, last one, just as good as the first. And 1, awesome. Put that weight down if you're changing it out. Go ahead and grab a lighter set. If you're changing it out, don't let me stop you from using the same weight though. It's just simply an option. Feet hip width apart, coming on down in 4, 3, 2, here we go. Reverse fly and in. Good. Slightly lean forward, so not up here, slightly leaning forward. It kind of hurts when you stand up straight like that. Good. Reaching. I think we have the most challenging cardio move coming up after this move here. So don't let that scare you. Just get ready for it. Enjoy the fact you just got some weight right now. No jumping needed, no quick moves. Good, 4 more. 4, 3, 2, last time. Here we go. 1, awesome. Go ahead and put those weights down. You need 0 weights for this. Now, I'm going to say this word, and half of you are probably going to say, I'm out. I don't want to be here anymore. But don't get scared, because it is modified. It's a modified burpee. Now, let me show you. And I will absolutely not stop you from going a little bit more intense if you want it. But there's a couple different options. So a modified one would be hands down, step back, up, stand. Now, if you have something like a table near you, I have this chair here. If you want, you can put your hands on a chair, walk, 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 lift. You can do it with a chair. You do not have to get all the way to the floor. So if you feel like that's a barrier for you, find a sturdy piece of table, chair that you can lean onto. Other option, hands down, you can hop back, hop up, stand up, or you're welcome to hop at the top. We do have 45 seconds, and I will time it. So you have about 8 seconds. Think about which option you want. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, here we go. You can either step, 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 step. You can also reach at the top if you feel like you want that option. You can also hop those feet back, hop them up, do a hop at the top. That's very challenging to do and talk to all of you. If you want to go a little slower, you can absolutely do that as well. Hands up over your head at the top is going to make it feel a little bit harder. It's actually going to make your heart rate climb a little bit more. So if you feel like you don't want as much of that, please don't reach your hands up overhead. Good. You are close. You are almost there. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take a breather. Again, I did say that was the hardest move, hardest cardio move anyway that we've got tonight. Grab some water. Think about catching your breath. We have hamstrings coming up next. We're going to go with a lying hamstring move first, and then we're going to come up to a standing hamstring move. Hamstrings are a little bit one of those moves where you don't feel it, kind of feels like a stretch as you do it. And then tomorrow you might wake up and think, what happened? What happened to my legs? All right, grab a slightly heavier set of weights and we're going to start laying down on the floor. So we will be in the same position we were in for chest and crunches. So there's a couple different options. Option 1, your knees are bent. Weights are going to be on your hips, and you're going to be lifting and lowering. Lifting and lowering. That's actually the option. I'm going to change it slightly as we get going. So you are going to want a heavier weight on your hips. We are working your bum. You feel like you want one weight. You simply take one weight and put it in the middle. Still same move. If you feel at all like the weights are hurting your hips, they're too heavy, they're not working, just get rid of them. Just by lifting your hips and squeezing your bum, you're still getting engagement in your glute. All right, back on your back. Feet are bent, weights are on the hips in 4, 3, 2, up for 2. Up and lower. Now I want you to think about pressing your hips up to the ceiling or the sky if you're outside. Wherever you are, I want you to think about pressing your hips up through the ceiling and then coming down. Up, up, lower, down, up. Same rule applies as we did with some of those squats and pliés. If you want, you can lift your toes up in your shoes or actually lift them up off the floor, and that's actually going to get your glutes a little bit more engagement. Good. Up. Good. 2 more like this, and then I'm going to have you hold at the top, and we're going to get a little bonus hamstring. Here we go. Hold at the top with those hips, and I want you to take your knees and touch them and open. Touch, open. Touch, open. Let me shift myself just a bit here. So you're actually touching your knees and then opening them back up. I know it looks ridiculous. All of you have to watch me, but no one else is watching you unless you have some bystanders in your house coming by. So it's okay if it looks ridiculous. Good. Pushing your hips up. Right now, if you do not feel anything in your butt, you need a heavier set of weight or you need to press your hips up higher. 4. If you think I'm ridiculous for asking and it hurts that much, you are golden. 1 more time. Awesome. Lower your hips down. Safely take those weights off, and we're going to come up to a standing position. The next move is called a good morning, but we're going to rename them to good evening because it is not morning right here. I'm going to use the same set of weights. So I've got a 12.5. We're going to put the weights on top of our shoulders. So you're actually not holding them, if you can tell. I've got the weight here, and I'm actually holding the front of it. It's just leaning on my shoulder. My feet are about hip width apart. And the good morning part is you're going to lean forward and stand up. Now, Again, this one you're probably just gonna feel like it's an awesome hamstring stretch. Tomorrow, you might feel like maybe it's not an awesome hamstring stretch. Might be a little tight. Here we go. In 4, 3, 2, slow down. Down and up. I want you to think about a string is here and it's pulling your hips back. So a lot of times when people do hamstrings, they just think about leaning forward. I will challenge you to actually think about pushing your butt to the wall behind you. If you don't feel a good stretch in the top back of your legs, I want you to think more about your butt pushing back behind you. Pushing back and lifting. The other thing about strength training that's very, 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 very important is doing it correctly with good form. So a lot of people, when they're doing hamstrings, they might be here with a rounded back. They might be here bending their knees. There is a move for that, but this one is not. Our knees are mostly straight. We're working the back of our legs. Good, you have 4 to go. 4, then we'll come back on the floor. We're gonna work that bum a little bit more. Good, 2 more. Good, 1 last time. For now, we'll come back. Awesome, go ahead and take those weights off your shoulders. If you felt like on the floor, you felt nothing on your hips and you've got something heavier, maybe go ahead and grab it. And then we're gonna come back down with our weights on our hips. Again, if you feel like those weights don't feel good on your hips, try it with 1, a little less pressure. And if that still doesn't work, go ahead and get rid of them altogether. Again, the more you squeeze your butt, the more engagement you're getting. 4, 3, 2, lift on up, up and down. At the beginning of this one, I don't really feel too much. And then we get to those parts where I say, touch your knees. And then I say, oh yeah, okay. I remember this move. I know this one. Good. The downside of all of us being virtual is I can't hear the, oh my goodness, that's tough. So I hope that's what you're saying. I hope you're thinking it's a challenge. If you're not, feel free to leave a note in the chat on your way out, because I'd love to hear if I should make it a little bit more challenging. Or if you say, Tiffany, that's so challenging, I feel like I couldn't come back, I like to hear that too, because maybe that means I didn't give some options. Everybody should be able to do strength training, young, old, all the things. Good, 2 more. Lift. Good, this time I want you to stay at the top. Now we're really gonna get to the fun part. Touch your knees, open. If you do the first one and touch your knees and go, oh, your weight's perfect. If you get your knees touching a few times and you say, Tiffany, I don't know what I'm supposed to feel. Squeeze your butt a little more, still don't feel it, probably means your weight just isn't quite heavy enough, which is good. That means you find out how strong you really are. Good, you have 4 more. 4, 3, 2, 1 last time. Yeah, don't give up. Oh, lower your butt down. Holy smokes. All right. Come on up. You do not need to do it super fast. I don't want anybody feeling lightheaded as they come up on their feet. We're going to do a few more of those good evenings. It is good evening. All right. Remember, my weights are just resting here on my shoulders, so it doesn't mean you have to hold them here. You can absolutely let them rest on your shoulders. Unless that hurts, then you can go ahead and put your hand down. Feet hip width apart in 4, 3, 2, leaning down, down, and up. Good, yes, down, and up. Awesome. If you're wondering what we have left for this evening, we have shoulders, biceps, and triceps. We do have 2 shoulder moves, and then the last block is 1 bicep, 1 tricep. Then you're out of here. You're done. You're on with your Wednesday, on with the rest of your week, which I hope is going well so far. For me, coming back from vacation, a little bit rough, but that's okay. Good. I feel like at this pandemic world, I'm figuring out how to kind of talk to myself for an hour, which is also an interesting challenge that I didn't think I'd have to experience, but here we are. Good, you have 4 more. 4. Good. 3. 2, we do have a core move after this one in case you're wondering, so no cardio here. 1, go ahead and get rid of those weights. We do have a standing core move, so this one is really what you make it. So if you're not making it challenging, it's not going to feel as challenging. It's a standing crunch. So elbows are going to be about 90 degrees, and you're going to lift a leg and down, lift a leg and down. So here's what the front view would look like. I am crunching my abs as I bring my knee in. So it's not simply just lifting a leg. It's actually crunching down as you come up and down. You have 45 seconds. We've got 5, 4, 3, 2, and I'm going to come to the side to make sure you can see. I've got a slight lean forward as that knee comes up. Again, if you're not lifting your knee and really engaging your core or squeezing everything together, it's probably just going to feel like not much. Probably going to feel like you're just kind of lifting your leg, but I want you really to crunch in and crunch in, almost like somebody's getting you on the belly and you're going, oh, oh, that's kind of what it should feel like. In and in. You have 10 seconds. Good. Keep going. Yes, yes, yes. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Awesome. If you'd like, you can stretch out your arms a bit. We have been holding some heavy weights. You have shoulders coming up next. Now, what I would tell you, shoulders are very small compared to the muscles in your legs. So it doesn't take much for us really to get a workout on our shoulders. We're going to start with a little quicker shoulder move with a pair of light weights. I've got 5s. 5s are pretty light. If you feel like you don't have anything less than a 5 and it's too heavy, I want you just to do it with your arms, because keep in mind your arms also weigh something. They are not light as feathers, and then we add weight to them. So just using your arms is just fine. Move number 1, we are going to just do some jabs. I'm going to do some quicker jabs, we're going to do some slower jabs, and then move number 2 I'll show you as we get there. You might want something slightly heavier as we get to move number 2. All right, weights are going to be up by our face, so a little bit closer. I'm going to come in a little bit closer here so we feel nice and close. All right, in 4, we're going to start jabbing that way. 3, 2, and 1. Jab, jab, jab. Now, you can tell that I kind of started like this. Kind of started like, oh, I'm just reaching my arm. Now, I want you to pretend like you're jabbing through something, a sheet of paper, cardboard, not quite a wall, but something where you're going to need a little bit of power to get through it. Push, push, push. 4, 3, 2, we're staying on this side with the jab. A little quicker. Jab, 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 up. Elbow is nice and high, not here. Elbows high. Push, 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 push. 4, 3, 2, going to the other side. Here we go, up. Again, elbow up, elbow not here, elbow up, up. Push, 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 push. Good, 4 more. 4, 3, 2, back to those jabs. Jab, jab. Because your arms are lifted and you may or may not have weight, it's going to feel like you're starting to work your shoulders. And then I'm going to make it a little harder with move number 2. Good. 4 more. 4, 3, punch through that paper. 2, and 1. Awesome. I'm going to set down my 5s. I'm actually going to grab my 7.5s and go a touch heavier and see how that feels. We're going to start on one leg and we're going to stay there, and then second time through, we're going to be on the other side. So weights are going to be up by our shoulders still. You're going to be stepping out to a side lunge, step together, press overhead. So we're getting a little bit of leg work and a lot of bit of shoulder work. You're going to feel it as we get moving. So again, you're going to step out. If you so choose, you can keep your foot off the floor. That's going to require a ton more balance. So if you're up for a balance challenge, go ahead. Otherwise, tapping your toe, also a fine option. 4, 3, 2, out to the side. Lunge, together, press. Good. The other thing about strength training, the faster you go, the more momentum you get, which is fine in some instances. Some instances with too much momentum, you're actually not really working your muscles at all. Just using momentum to help you. Sometimes we go a little bit quicker so we can lift a little heavier, but sometimes we go a little lighter. Good. Again, we will go on that other side next time through. This time, Focusing on pressing straight up overhead with those weights. Again, no one cares if you tap your toe. This does not mean you failed. Doesn't mean you've done a terrible job. Good. Awesome. 2 more to go. Hopefully you can't hear my elbow that pops every time I press up overhead. 1 more time. Awesome. All right. If you're choosing to either get rid of weights, drop a weight, change a weight, go ahead and do it now because we're going to go back to those jabs. I'm going to stay nice and close. I like to be closer to you, all of you. Makes it feel like we're in it together. All right. Hands are up by your face. Knees are bent. That's very, very important. In 4, we're going that way. 3, 2, here we go. Jab, jab, jab. Again, I want you to think about pushing your arm through a sheet of paper or cardboard, or maybe a sheet. You're just jabbing at something. Don't think about concrete wall. That might not be the most pleasant thing to think about as we're doing these. Good. 4, 3, 2, we've got the repeater. Up, 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 up. Notice my knee is slightly bent. Other leg less bent, but I am on my toe if you can't see that. A little too close. Good. Push, 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 push. 4, 3, 2, other side. Push, push. Elbow nice and lifted. Push, 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 push. 4, 3, 2, back to jabs. Jab, jab, jab. Now jab through something. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. If you're changing out your weight for those shoulder presses, keeping the same or no weight at all, you go ahead and choose. Good. That's the other hard part about being home. The self-accountability needed for working out on your own is so big. All right, weights up at your sides. Here we go. Stepping out, up. I like to do the first couple with my toe tapping just to get my balance set on this side. Out, up. And then as I get a little bit more comfortable, I feel like I can lift it as I stand together. In case you're wondering, we're kind of doing a sneaky core move here. Your core move is anything if I cut off your arms and legs. So again, it's not just your abs or a six-pack or any of those things. It's also your back. Your back is super important. That's also why we focus on your back. Good. Nice and strong. The goal is also that you walk out of here feeling a little bit stronger. Yes, a little bit more sore, but I also want you to feel strong. You've got 3 to go. Good, 2 more. Don't beat yourself up if your weight's less this week. Maybe something changed. Maybe you're a little more sore from something else. Last one. Awesome. Go ahead and put those weights down. We have our last cardio move. Last block of work is biceps, triceps, and some core. So this is your last cardio. Skaters, you can make these as hard or as not hard as you want. I think skaters are still hard, no matter which option you choose. Option 1 will be stepping and reaching. Stepping and reaching. If you can see, my toe taps behind me on the floor. Option 2 will be jumping and a tap. Option 3 will be floating the toe behind you. You have 45 seconds. It's the last cardio block, so give me what you got. 5, 4, 3, 2, here we go. Last cardio block. Maybe you start with floating your toe and then you say, Tiffany, I need to tap it. Go for it. Again, unless you've got those bystanders at home, no one knows what you're doing, but I want you to feel strong. I want you to feel challenged, but do not beat yourself up. If you are here, that's amazing. If you are here, that's amazing. If you are here floating your foot, also amazing. The other way to make these harder is hop a little wider. I'm not very tall, so it's hard for me to go much wider. Good. Plus I have to talk to all of you. Also a little challenging. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 more. Got it. All right, we're to our last block. It's biceps and triceps. We got 9 minutes. We can get it in and get out of here. So biceps, You're going to be a little annoyed because I'm going to tell you we're going to do some side lunges again. But you're only going to do each side one time, okay? So move number one. You're going to hold the weight in this hand. I don't know if this hand to you looks like right or left, but it is my right. And you're going to step out with your opposite foot. You're going to pretend like you're side bowling. You're going to stand up and do a curl. Hopefully not fall over like I just almost did. Reach and curl, okay? If you prefer a hammer curl as you come up, go ahead. Otherwise, you can do a bicep curl. All right, in 4, 3, 2, sweep across your body, stand, curl. Again, if you feel like a hammer curl is a little better, a little bit closer to your body, you go for it. It works just a slightly different bicep muscle, but it's still working your arms, still working your biceps. Good. Reach and up. Good. Reach. We kind of have a two-parter bicep move, so we don't have to do quite as many. You have 4 left to go. Here's 4. If you're not going as fast as I am, don't beat yourself up. 3, 2 to go. You made it to class. That's what's the most important part. Even if you're just sitting down watching, you made it. You logged in. Last one. Awesome. Now I want you to take the same weight or something a little heavier. I think I'm going to go up just a touch. And I want overhead, we're going to do some tricep extensions. In 4, 3, 2, down for 2. Down and up. Now, if you have a mirror in front of you or a reflection you can see, try to keep your elbows in. Don't let your elbows come out like this. And try to get that weight so you can't see it behind your head. So you can see I'm bringing the weight down behind my head and back up. The other thing, if you feel like you're starting to do this, take 1 foot behind you because we want to stay upright as much as possible. Again, it's so hard to get that right form when we maybe don't have a mirror, don't have someone helping us correct our form. You have 2 left to go. Good. 1 more time. Awesome. Grab 1 weight for those side bicep curls. Last time, other hand. So again, now this is my left hand. I don't know if it looks like left or right to you. I think it looks like left. You're going to step out with your right leg or the opposite leg. We're going to sweep across and then come up and do that curl. In 4, 3, 2, here we go. Side, curl. Now you can see that sometimes I tap my toe. Sometimes I keep it lifted when I feel like I've got the balance for it. If you feel like you don't have balance tonight, I want you just to tap your toe. It's not worth getting upset about, getting frustrated. It's better just to tap that toe. Then you've got all that power for that sweep across. 4 more to go. 3 more. 3. Because you're extending your arm nice and long, it's going to feel a little bit harder. 1 more time. Plus work your bicep a little bit more. All right. Last one overhead. Grab that weight for your tricep extensions. You're going to be up overhead in 4, 3, 2, down for 2. Down and lift. Again, try to get that weight coming behind your head. If you can see yourself in a reflection, making sure those elbows are nice and close. It's so easy to start doing this, so just put that toe down and it's going to help push you forward just a touch. So you've got a nice upright position. Good. And up. Yes. Again, if your feet are both on the floor, just bend those knees slightly. Good. You have 4 more to go. Don't give up. This is your last strength move with the weight. Good. 2. 1 more time. And 1. Awesome. Now, I want you to put that weight down on the floor in front of you. Let me make sure I've got the weight far enough back that you can see it. And you're going to come sit on your butt. You're not even picking up the weight, so it doesn't matter what it is. If it's not a weight, it can be a phone. It can be whatever you care for. So we're going to sit back. I might have to come on my side over here for you. Your elbows are going to be on the floor behind you. So you're going to be here, and all the weight is doing is giving you something to come over top of. So you're going to come up and over and up and over. Now you say, Tiffany, you're crazy. There's no way I can do that. Options, bend your knees. It makes it a little easier. Lever a little shorter. Option 2, 1 foot at a time. almost like a little dance move over and top of your weight. You've got 45 seconds, then we stretch, then you're out of here. In 4, 3, 2, here we go. Up and over, up and over. I promise it's only 45 seconds. I promise that I just looked at the clock. Good. If you feel like you need to go to that one leg at a time, do it. Good. Yes, you can. I know you can. Maybe you're going a little slower. Maybe you only get 3 times across. I don't care. But I want you to try. Never know what you can do unless you try. Good. Oh, so good. Perfect. You have 10 seconds left to go. Keep going. Don't give up on yourself. I'm not giving up on you. I'm here with you. 4, 3, 2. Get one more time across that way. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Oh my goodness. Who knew your legs could get so heavy so fast? Just go ahead and stay on the floor. I'm going to get a little bit closer. All right. Take a deep breath up. Deep breath up. And out. Go ahead and bring one of those arms across your body. I will be here next week. I don't have any other vacation that's planned at this point. I don't really go very many places with a 6-month-old and a 3-year-old. Good. Same arm up and back. Let's stretch out that tricep. I will say, though, this pandemic time has been amazing to almost have an excuse to slow down life a little bit, spend more time at home. The downside is my home is now my office, so I feel like I don't really ever get away from work. That's a little challenging, but you know what? I'll take it for that non-commute I have, the extra half an hour in my day where I'm not driving. Hands down. Let's bring our feet out in front. I'm gonna lift up. Don't touch your shoes. Just go ahead and lean yourself forward. Almost like a little lower body stretch as well. You're taking your fingers out over your feet, almost like you've got rainbows and glitter coming out because you feel so good. And then go ahead and come down. If you can't touch your shoes, you can just go ahead and hang on to your shins or your thighs, whatever feels good. Keeping that back nice and flat. Awesome. One more. Bring those feet in to a butterfly position. If you feel like you can get your feet all the way nice and tight, go ahead. Otherwise, out a little ways is a little better for me. I've got very tight hips after all that sitting today. Just go ahead and lean yourself forward just slightly, or you can lean yourself forward a lot. I just don't quite have that flexibility in my hips. Now, as we finish up here, if you have feedback or there's more or less that you want to something, maybe a move that you say, hey, I kind of like when we do more of this, please let me know. I stay on as I'm kind of putting away the weights, so I'd love to hear them. All right, go ahead and sit yourself up. If you want, you can cross those legs. We've got 2 deep breaths, then you're out of here. Deep breath in. And out. One more time. Deep breath in. And out. As always, high five to you. Thank you for joining me. Have a great Wednesday, everybody. See you next week.
Bye.
Thanks.
So great class.
Thank you.